Hello everyone, Maryann here, revealing light, tarot, astrology and spirituality. Wherever you are in the world when you're watching, a huge shout out to you. I want to thank everybody for their wonderful support. Again, I can't say that enough. Two bits of news I want to bring forward. I've started a news, including holistic, spiritual, intuitive stuff as well on my website. My web developer is rebranding my page to call it The Note, news open to everyone. And thank you for the many people who have subscribed to The Note. I hope to be posting, or I will be posting at least a couple of times a week. I'm not sure which days, but anyway, that's on the boiler. I'll be looking at the US Sibley chart and current transits there, as well as Pluto moving finally into Aquarius on November the 19th. I'm recording here in Australia on November the 18th. And there are already signs of how we're going to be doing things differently, more around our own communities at a networking type community level. And that's a good thing. That will be driven forward during the era of, we'll call him 45. If I call him the MAGA leader, that'll just attract the MAGA trolls. So we'll call him 45. We'll keep calling him 45, even though, 2025 will bring what it brings. There's that. What else? What other news? Yeah, I've deactivated and deleted my Twitter account, and for obvious reasons, given that the platform is owned by Musk and he totally distorted and used that platform to get 45 elected. I'm not going to contribute to that. You do what you want, but I'm over at Blue Sky, and I tell you what, yeah, it's going to have MAGA trolls coming, yeah, sure, but you can block them, and they have moderation on Blue Sky. In fact, the ethics head of ethics at old Twitter is now on Blue Sky, and he is giving the thumbs up to Blue Sky. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff is happening. The social media landscape is changing, and that's one of the reasons why I've started or revamped my blog, my written word, to draw on my journalistic skills here as well, because I think there is a change coming to social media. I'll always be on YouTube. It's my main platform. So far, YouTube's been okay. There's been a few anomalies, but we'll leave that to an explanation of technical problems. Let's see how it goes here. But people are diversifying, and our power is in our patronage. Don't forget that. Okay, so today, I think I'm going to have to get rid of my cardigan. I will get back into brighter colors in a little while. I'm still in, I guess, in mourning a little bit for what happened in the US 2024 elections. And also I'm still figuring out how I move ahead here with what I bring you. I'll still be doing all the same things. I still have total faith in spirit and the universe. Yes, I do. But I cannot ignore the fact that it wasn't a landslide for old 45 at all. Not at all. In fact, he garnered 49% of the national vote and federal vote, and Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, garnered 48. I think there's only a 1.5 percentage difference. It was by no means a landslide, or that the MAGA party is trying to portray. Not at all. And I'll get to that at the end of this, because I don't want to keep relitigating the election, and I know neither do you. I want to look at the transits, where we go from here, and then drill down on some current events. You'll notice an arthritic glove on my left hand. I woke up in the middle of the night not being able to. I do have very bad arthritis in my hands from my riding career, and I woke up with incredible pain. And so I had to get up and tend to it, and it's just got a support glove on today. All right, so here's the program for today. I don't want to talk too much. I can do that through the note now in writing. and I want to get straight to it. We're going to look at some astrology today, the current transits, then we're going to move to the questions that I have. We're going to be looking at the obvious, will the Senate go into recess, the US Senate go into recess, and then will some of his more controversial picks, obviously Matt Gaetz, who has a Senate Ethics Committee investigation and report coming, and there are allegations of sexual assault or sex with minors, or not an assault, pardon me, sex with minors there. And then also Trump 45's pick for Defense Secretary Hexeth, pardon my lisp. He's been accused of sexual assault, paid off his alleged victim, and now her friend has come forward with the story of that alleged sexual assault. Before we go any further, this is for entertainment purposes only. I may be right, I may be wrong. It's really important for you to remember that. Thankfully, I get it right on a lot of occasions. And up until the last election, US election, I've called every single election correct, whether that be midterms or federally in 2020 or EU elections or Australia's last election, I've been correct. So, but I'm not correct. I'm not right all the time. It's not an exact science. Sometimes we interpret things in a word for word interpretation when there are metaphors and nuances and meanings that we haven't yet realized. And so I don't think spirit ever gets it wrong. I just think that we interpret it wrong sometimes. Okay, so we'll go to the picks. I want to go to the economy. I've been doing a lot of research over the weekend on the US economy and the world economy as a result, and it's not looking good. So we'll drill down on that. Biden today, pardon me for my croaky voice, has given permission for Ukraine to use long-range missiles into Russia. And I want to, that comes with a risk. And I'm very, very worried about a major war in 2025, either involving Russia or Ukraine or in the Middle East. I thought Middle East, but we'll take a look. Middle East, Elon Musk, I'm sorry, I have to say, I have to express my, God, I don't know what it is. Elon Musk met with Iran's foreign minister. Elon Musk, not a part of the government, just some techno bloke that made his fortune appealing to left people's conscience around the use of sustainable energy in electric cars, for example, made his fortune in that area, then showed us what a ruthless businessman he was in the way that he gutted Twitter, bought Twitter, took it over, and then propelled 45 to a win. He met with Iran's foreign minister. I'm sorry, but this involves the world. What the hell is going on there? We'll see what happened in that meeting. He basically got an assurance from Iran they weren't trying to assassinate old 45. If we've got time, we'll go to old 45's health. He's obviously buoyed with his performance, but I don't think that's going to last long. Let's go to the astrology to begin with, and then we'll go from there. The cards I've got out to use today is the what is it? What have I got? Okay, so we've got the Tarot of Traditions. We have the Cairo Marchetti's Gilded Tarot, and we also have the Hanson Roberts mini deck, because I'm using clarifiers for every outcome card from here on in, and I'm digging deeper and I'm looking for the nuances and the meanings that Spirit wants to give me, if only I would listen with a clear ear. Okay, so let's go to the astrology. It's quite interesting. There's a lot in it. I'm not going to try labor the point. I can't cover everything, but we'll see how far we get. before we need to stop for brevity's sake, because I don't want this reading to be too long, and for your sake and mine. Okay, here are the current transits. I've dated at 18th of November because it's 18th of November here in Australia. Your timeline will be 17th of November. That's okay. I'm not saying this is going to happen tomorrow. It's where the planets are right now. Okay, so it's over Washington. That's Washington, D.C. Not Washington, the state. Washington, District of Columbia. Okay, so there's so much in here. I've got to start with the sun up here in the 8th house. You can see my arrow there. The sun in the 8th house in Scorpio. Well, golly, does that not spell endings and beginnings and transformation and really, really deep, and I'm going to say in some ways dark Plutonian energy. It's also very intense energy in that 8th house over Washington at the moment. It is trining, interestingly enough, trining. We go down here, the blue line, trining's good. It's a harmonious flow. Neptune in Pisces. Right now, and it's in the 1st house over Washington, so Washington, D.C. So right now we have a chance to make of it what we will, to create something. And because Pisces is the sign that is governing creation, imagination, spiritualism, it's like the ball, it's a heavy weight, okay? It's a heavy weight. Some see it as a wrecking ball, but it is in our hands. And this is our time to make of it what we will. And I'm going to urge you not to hold on to the past, because this is a new era coming through. Now, if we go to this, to Neptune in Pisces, we've got Saturn now at 12 degrees in Pisces in the 12th house. Again, endings. But it is moving forward, and it will be conjunct with Pluto. Let me see, where is it? I did have a date for you. Did I get a date on that? I'm going to just say it will be conjunct very soon. I'll put a date in the pinned comment for you. It's going to come within that 10-degree orb very soon and be conjunct. And that is when, I mean, Saturn is, again, moving forward. It's about karma and life's lessons. And it's also going to bring us back on track. There is a opposition with the vertex in this chart, which is the point of fate and destiny in this chart. And it's in the 7th house. And so when we talk about creation, 7th house in this chart anyway talks about partnerships. And it talks about how we build those partnerships. And of course, it is, we do have the South Node, meaning the past in Libra, justice, is also squaring the moon in the 4th house here, Washington, D.C. chart, meaning home and country, the home country. And that is a point where if we don't let go of the past, we are not serving the future at all. This is a time to create what we want to see going forward. And this chart is full of obstacles, so it's not easy at all. This is a fated time. And we see here the North Node in the 1st house in Aries. And so again, it's about what we're creating. This is a new cycle. I'm just going to say this is a new cycle. And it's very much a Pluto in Aquarius new cycle as well. Again, about the collective. However, here's the sting in the tail. There are many stings in the tail in this chart. Also here over Washington, D.C., we have, well, it doesn't matter where I cast this chart, you'd still see the planetary positions the same, but it's the houses that will differ depending on where you cast that chart. We have Chiron and Hygeia and Eris all conjunct in Aries. In fact, Eris and Hygeia are conjunct, totally, exactly conjunct. Now, when something's conjunct, you get a blending of the energies. Now, what is Chiron? The wounded healer. I think Chiron's now moving direct as well. Hygeia is health and ill health. And we've got Eris, of course, she was the goddess that went onto the battlefield and showed no mercy. And so there are all the things that we see going on in the US and across the world right now have a direct bearing on our future. This is a extremely volatile, but a time full of challenges, full of, I'm going to say, heartache as well. But it is a time where we can create. We still have the power of creation. And that is now with Pluto going into Aquarius on the 19th. The power is within the collective's hands. And beyond the collective, now Aquarius is also quite Uranus energy, because Uranus rules Aquarius. So there can be quick changes. And I'll give you an example of that. It is when the mass migration happened from Twitter to places like Blue Sky. It's happening at the rate of 1 million followers a day. 1 million people a day are leaving Twitter since the election and moving to Blue Sky. Incredible. Incredible. What I can say about Blue Sky is to me, it feels like the old Twitter, only better from the lessons that we've learned. And you'll say, oh, can it be sold to a billionaire? No. Well, it can be, but someone else, because it's what they know is known as open source, someone can replicate Blue Sky straight away. So if a billionaire comes along, buys it, then someone replicates Blue Sky, and we have another Blue Sky. So it's been set up that way on purpose. Okay, let's get back to the chart. So here is worrying, because it's what we create, it's what we learn. Saturn coming into conjunction with Neptune, life's lessons and karma. So it is a very, very karmic new beginning that we're still moving through the old with Pluto in Capricorn during the US election. I want to go over here to the lot of fortune or Fortuna in Scorpio. And that, of course, is again about the, if I can just say, it is the way that we end this current cycle that will determine our future. And don't ever let anyone say the American empire is dying, dying, dying. How would they know? It is in the hands of the US and in the hands of the US people. 48% under everything that Harris had stacked against her voted for her. 49 for old 45, who many say has a fascist way of governing and wants to introduce fascist policies. So Fortuna, let me see. Fortuna, the lot of fortune, is making a square to Mars in Leo. And, this is about the individual putting itself in front of the collective. The individual, we're going to see that a lot. There's going to be one of the themes going forward of the next year or so. And we'll see how that works out for them, because I wager it's not going to work out very well at all. And Mars, of course, is aggression. In the 5th house, we're going to hear a lot of aggressive speak coming forward. But the lot of fortune squaring in Scorpio says, move on. It's time to move on now, no matter what side of the fence you're on. And I know that's a hard message to deliver. Make of it what you will. Let's move over here to Pluto. It's still in Capricorn in its most potent degree, 29 degrees. But again, Pluto will move into Aquarius, coming down this way on November the 19th. Tomorrow for me, a couple of days for you. And that's where we see the collective action here. And of course, that's making an opposition to Mars in Leo. And that's a bit of a worry, because that pattern, Pluto opposing Mars, was present in 1939. I'm not trying to scare you. I don't think it's going to be a rerun of 1939, but it all depends on how we act and react now, how the collective marshals, and what checks and balances we still are able to put in front of this Pluto in Capricorn march forward. It's the end of that era, and so I have confidence in the collective action, even though many let us down in the way that they chose to either sit out this election or vote. Okay, I do want to make one warning here, and that is Uranus and Algol conjunct here in the second house of finance and possessions. And it is squaring the sun in Scorpio. And that's a little bit of a worry, because Uranus and Algol, really shock endings. And so around finances, what they do with their policies now is going to determine that the economy in the US is not robust. It hasn't been since 2022. I think, I'm not an economist, but I think the wars coming on the heel of the slowdown and downturn in the COVID years, it recovered very well under Biden post 45 presidency. It was in a shocking state when Biden-Harris came in. It rebounded, regathered, and did quite well up until 2022. And now there's been a solid downturn. So when people say we were hurting, you should listen to them, because the stats and the graphs that I've seen show a decline in the economy from 2022 onwards. Now, that's also when the Republicans took the House, don't forget, as well, and they couldn't govern. And so, this is why I'm confident in the midterms, because I think the Republicans, the MAGA party, are just not going to be able to govern. This will be the difference between 45.110, 1.0, and 45 2.0. Okay, I do want to go to the topic of women. And I want to say that there is a square, a hard square, right to the North Node in Aries, and the Moon in Cancer. Again, as I said, the home country. This, to me, and also an opposition up to Venus in Capricorn, to me, this spells of the devastation that women, particularly women and anyone who has that feeling type of energy, that compassion for others, the shock and devastation they're feeling at the moment for their country. The grief is very, very real. However, there's a square here to the South Node in Libra, and so there's this conflict about justice wasn't done. And that is not going away. That is not going away as we move forward. Now, I know there's a lot in this chart. I know there's a lot to cover. Do want to say, with this ill health and wounding and anger here, there is a trine up to Mercury and Pallas Athena in Sagittarius. And again, I want to stress that the more we drill down into the evidence, the facts, the law, the logic, the higher ideals, even though you think, can I swear? Even if you think, oh, bugger them, they let me down. The more we can do that, the more strongly that we are to recover. And so when something bad happens to me, and plenty of bads happen to me in my lifetime, it's been a particularly, I've got a lot of houses, a lot of planets in the 6th house. So those astrologers will know what that means. I've had a lot of setbacks in my life in relation to health, particularly. When I'm confronted with something going extremely south, and the kind of south that leaves you devastated, I become very pragmatic, and I start to look at where we need to go to move forward. And so take the time that you need to grieve. But when you're ready, come back, because we have, with Pluto moving into Aquarius, all these signs that when we move into our own communities, when we mobilize, when we learn, when we attack it from Pallas Athena and Mercury there in Sagittarius, when we attack it from that higher level of thinking, we win. We really do. And so, yeah, I do want to remind you that that the margin 1 to 1.5% razor thin margin between the two candidates. No mandate there. We already see the effect of Uranus and Algol on 45 old 45's chart. How it's manifesting at the moment, his Senate picks and the atrocities that are going on there. So that's I mean, the astrology is heavy. However, there are many indications of what might come as we negotiate and navigate obstacles. I do want to remind people this is a one. Old 45 is referred to as a lame duck president. Why? Because this is only one term. It's only one term. And I know all the fear people will say, oh, but he's going to overturn the Constitution. Oh, but he's going to do this. Oh, but he's going to do that. Well, let him try, because ultimately he will fail. The US is a nation made up of many states. All of those states have power within their own rights. We have multiple layers of courts, including ones that have been appointed throughout the Biden presidency who are moderates, not extremists. You're going to say, oh, but what about the Supreme Court? SCOTUS, did you know, ruled that old 45 lost the election every single time in 2020. So I do want to say, watch the economy and be prepared. But that's the only, I guess, thing that I'll say that I picked up over the last couple of days that I would be a little bit concerned with. All right, let's go. Where are we going? We're going to go to old 45's picks. Will the Senate go into recess? Because that's what he's threatened with. And of course, Matt Gaetz is wagging a finger and saying, this is what Trump's doing, is saying, we'll come after you, Republicans, rhinos, if you go against us. Thank you, Mum. Mum's touching my hair. Okay, so 45's picks. All right, let's have a look. Will the Senate go into recess? Will the Senate go into recess? What can you show me? What can you show me? So I'm seeing somebody watching a film. There's a great deal of analysis that's being taken at the moment. Somebody's holding up Bitcoin too. So there are concerns about the guardrails here. Again, Trump's a lame duck president. These people have to face re-election. They have to face the midterms as well. Will they go into recess? Can you show me clearly? Will they go into recess? Will they go into recess? I'm sort of thinking they're going to sit all night doing things. I don't think they are. Is that what I'm correctly perceiving? No, their wisdom is. No, you're going to say, what wisdom have they? Well, they have a consent and advice role on these picks, and I think they're going to do it. There's just not the votes, I don't think, to go into recess. All right. And I want to remind everybody that the Pennsylvania Senate race is not done yet. There's a recount in Pennsylvania. Please don't be a blue anon. It was automatically triggered by the state's election laws. The margin was so close between Casey and McCormick. There's a recount now. Now, well, I will say this. If you are subscribing that, you know, Elon Musk satellites, not all voting machines are connected, most voting machines aren't connected to the internet, or if the code was replaced or whatever, that somehow Biden's cybersecurity experts and Five Eyes missed, but some other person picked up, technical expert in a state picked up. If you're subscribing to all of that, this recount will be important. I'm not going to rule it out. I'm not going to rule it out. My cards were pretty on point that Harris would win. I'm not going to rule out cheating, but I am going to say this. I am now of the view that we should wait and see what happens, and don't underestimate Biden and Harris. If there is any fraud there, Harris is a prosecutor. She will get to the bottom of it. Okay, so what I'm saying is Casey could quite come up from behind. He was the one seat that I saw would go to the courts, but he could actually come up and win this. All right, so let's have a look at the Gates, Matt Gates. I somehow got the feeling that even old 45 wasn't serious with this. Sorry, there's a lot of spirit movement in the room. And that this is just a precursor for someone even worse than Gates. All right, will Matt Gates get confirmed as AG? Will Matt Gates, show me clearly, will Matt Gates get confirmed? I don't think so. I'm seeing the owl, an owl going through paperwork. When owl represents wisdom to me, will the report here, the Senate Republicans have said they want to see that report. It's not going to be hidden. Will Gates get confirmed as AG? I can't see how he will. Okay, so we get the Emperor. So that would be old 45 putting his foot down. But we also get suspension. Now, I didn't think they'd resets, but that's what he's thinking. That's what he's threatening them with. He does have the power, I think, to recess, although it would be challenged. We get the Fool card, new starts, and we get strength in the past. So this is what I'm feeling with this presidency. It's not going to be as strong. But he is picking up this Jupiter energy that's in the sky, and we get deals being done here. That's also Gates' past. We get a crossroads in the present, and we get the moon, the volatility of the moon. I want to say that horoscope that event chart I just looked at, it showed that the outrage and disgust and devastation that women are feeling will not go away. Will not go away. The moon in Cancer, again, its domicile. It's a feminine type of energy, and it's opposing Venus in Capricorn. Women's relationships with their male partners are changing, and we can see that in the 4B movement. Okay, so this is the energy here at the moment, and to put someone on that has had allegedly sex with minors is just, as the Attorney General, the number one lawmaker. So we get hopes and fears is obviously lying. And then we get the Five of Pentacles in the outcome. Now that's a no, and that's the Knight of Wands. Okay, so we get some kind of forward movement and money. He is threatening them about their campaign and the devil energy. We get Two of Pentacles, weighing up options. All right, let's pull some clarifiers, because I don't, even though that's a no card, two no's and two yeses, I'm not sitting on my laurels. I want to see the Five of Pentacles is left out in the cold. The doors are closed to him. That's as I read it, tarot wise. Okay, so show me the Five of Pentacles. I'm thinking no. Okay, so the Eight of Rods, headlines, and he could, and wish fulfillment. It's also idolism and restriction. Yeah, okay. And fighting. and moving out of troubled waters. He might even withdraw Gates before he gets there. He might even withdraw Gates before he gets there. I think Biden's got a master move coming through here as well. What's he going to do? And the death card, women. I can't see Gates being confirmed. He might be pulled out before, well, he might be withdrawn. He might old 45 may come up with another pick. All right. He wouldn't like that. Now, what about, okay, deals? Okay, I'll withdraw Gates if you put Hegsus, the Fox News host, Fox Breakfast host, through, the one with the tattoos of the Crusades, the one that was called a threat to an enemy within, and was taken off guard duty of Joe Biden. All right, so again, accused of sexual assault. Accused of sexual assault. I'm not saying it happened. I'm saying it's accused. So Hegseth, will he be confirmed as Defense Secretary? He's very young and unqualified. Hegseth, will he be? He's bound up. Okay, somebody's tied up. He did something allegedly that was pretty bad. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. Okay, Hegseth, I don't want to see any more of that. Hegseth, will you be confirmed? I'm getting the Four of Swords. Hegseth, will you be confirmed? So that's again retreat. Let's get the Chariot card. He wants to ram these things through. He could be knocked back because of his inexperience. We get the Magician, manipulation. God, it's terrible, this energy. I haven't watched CNN or any of the legacy media for a couple of weeks now since the election. Sun is in the past, happiness, joy. King of Cups is Biden, but seems to be that somehow Biden's got a few grenades to throw into the mix before we even get here. But that's the wisdom. That's the owl that I see. Page of Pentacles in the near future. Not a major court card. A lot of infighting amongst themselves about all of this. The atmosphere is around, well, he won, let him do what he wants. But we get an inevitability in the hopes and fears. There's also major karma coming back as well. Something coming to fruition in time. What is that? And we get plan B. I would be surprised, a new plan. I would be surprised if Hegseth gets elected, gets confirmed, and we get the Tower card. So his cards are looking pretty terrible. Gates, yeah, well, you saw the reading there. Okay, temperance and moderation. I don't think Hegseth gets a Guernsey here. See, this term is not going to be like the last term because he's so much more vindictive and volatile. And okay, so what's this something coming to a plan B? What is this? Hegseth, can you show me these? Did he get confirmed? Can you show me this Two of Wands and Seven of Pentacles? Plan A doesn't work. We'll go to plan B. Okay, so we get restriction, 9 guardrails, and a secret. What's the secret here? And the Three of Cups, support. And there's the Four of Swords. So I'm pretty sure, because I saw that clairvoyantly, that Hegseth is not confirmed as of this time that I'm reading. I may be right and I may be wrong. I'm feeling surer that he is not confirmed, more so than Gates, although, retribution's number one in old 45's mind, and Gates has promised he'll do what he wants. So he might be more likely to stick with that one and give Hegseth up. But I don't see Hegseth at this time being confirmed. Now I want to go to the economy. Now because it's important for all of us. What's that saying? America sniffles and the world gets a cold. Already Europe is warning that inflation will rise because of old 45's tariffs. Why is the economy in trouble? Well, for a number of reasons. It's been getting harder and harder since 2022. And we had a lot of reasons for that. Unstable government in terms of the house, the markets, all of that being spooked, the, less money to go around. We've got job cuts now coming in the wake of old 45's tariffs. Factories are saying, well, materials are going to cost more, so we have to put you on off. And that's across all these states. So already people are regretting their ridiculous vote to vote for somebody who is going to increase the cost of living versus someone who's going to give you $25,000 for a house. I could swear, but anyway. So we've got these massive tax cuts for billionaires around the corner that will increase the cost of borrowings for everybody, including Australia. Then we have tariffs. Now, tariffs are going to push up the cost of living. They're inflationary. That will not just be for the US, that will be for all of us as well, because Australia, as I said, exports to the US components for its military equipment. And so, yeah, it's going to push up inflation around the globe. Now, also, in case you didn't know, currently there is a high rate of commercial real estate delinquency, as in defaulting on their loans, and also consumer delinquency as well. And so banks are less they do not want to lend to people who can't pay the loans back. Part of the commercial real estate stuff is all about COVID and people working from home and not returning to these big city skyscraper offices. And of course, the values of those go down, tenants move out, and the owners of those buildings can't pay their mortgages. And so we see this rate of delinquency. Banks are reluctant to keep lending to, as I said, and old 45 understands all this and has said, you need to lend, otherwise there's going to be trouble. Well, they can't do that. They can't do that, or we return to 2008. So I'm just going to say that every indicator shows a tough economy for 45. I don't know, with his instability, how he's going to manage this, but particularly with the MAGA party can't govern in the House properly. I'm going to say, it's probably going to be a tough couple of years. However, you have the midterms in 2026. So I want to see the economy in 2025. Can you show me clearly the economy in 2025? So what am I seeing? I'm seeing, okay, so I'm seeing two women waltzing with each other. What a thing. One is an elderly woman and one's a younger woman. And so the elderly woman is giving money to the younger woman. So there's something around the wealth of the established, the older generation. Is probably going to be needed to give to children, to loan them money to get a mortgage or whatever, help them pay off their debts. But this also signifies an old era ending and the new era coming into the frame. We simply cannot do things in the same old way. That goes for your economy. It also goes for my economy in Australia here as well. It is not serving the needs of the people who need it most. Okay, show me the economy in 2025. Alrighty, so greed. Exactly, go back to 2020, 2008. Some of the indicators are already here for that. Greed and lies and corruption. Basically, greed and lies and corruption. And what's really sad, why we're all devastated, is because they chose somebody who is going to elevate the greed, elevate the lies, elevate the corruption on the pretense that he's going to help working people. As that's why some people are now starting to see what's really going on. The voter, okay, what's in the past, deals being done with the fossil fuel giants, with the billionaires. The past, as I said, is in the sky. The past. Now, what's in the future? The truth. So some of you are saying, why did this happen? Why did this happen? This is a change of an era, and we are moving into the era of truth. Page of Wands is it's not strong. We get the Wheel of Fortune, so that can mean a lot of things in the environment. There, people see that there is money to be made. I'm going to say it's not going to be all bad. We get the Five of Cups and the hopes and fears, and that's loss, endings, disappointment. Now we get justice. Okay, so I'm going to say this about the economy. You will reap what you sow. If you're careful in the way that you've done things, if you continue to be careful, if you prepare, you're going to be okay. But there's a justice coming. And what is the justice in relation to the domestic stability? And then we get winning here, the Six of Wands and a new start. So I'm going to drill down, got the seeds of something new there. So there's justice coming in relation to justice is what is taken away, the balancing of the scales in relation to the domestic economy. We have a winner here, and we have a new plan, and then we have. So I'm going to say, out of this economy, the wealthy will do quite well, but I do not think that those that aren't will, and that is just the way that old 45 and his donors want it. Okay, so what's this Justice card and the Queen of Pentacles? Can you show me this Justice card and the Queen of Pentacles? So again, okay, so I'm seeing the Five of Wands. There's a lot of fighting here, a lot of tug-of-wars, a lot of partisanship. Show me the Justice and the Queen of Wands in relation to the economy. Well, there's old 45 there, and there he is. Okay, so... And then we get the Page of Pentacles. He's not going to be, the Justice is, Page is not a queen or a king. It's a very, I guess, lower, it's an illusion. Okay, so, yeah, Queen of Cups. Things are going to be revealed, and we get the Chariot. Prepare for a rocky ride in relation to what? Domestic stability. So Old 45 thinks that he's on a winner here, but he's not, because here's the Justice card. We've got the newness. Okay, so I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see what this Six of Wands actually is. And I'm going to ask, before I get to Ukraine, I'm going to ask about Medicaid and Social Security. So show me the Six of Wands and Ten of Pentacles. Show me, what is this? Show me six of Wands is winning or losing, depending on what's clarifying it. And the Ten of Pentacles clarifies it. So the people with money win in this coming economy. By default, those that aren't in that bracket don't. They will pay the price. Is this correct? Have I interpreted this correctly, please? All right. Yeah, Five of Rods there. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you. And moving out of troubled waters. So resistance, the role of the House and the Senate, the closer the House is, it's very close, razor thin. The more we resist, the better off we will be. It's not a time, Five of Swords, abuse of power, to lay down and take it. It's about rising up right now, because who are you helping? You're helping yourself when you resist. So there's going to be a lot of resistance to what is coming, and some of that resistance will pay off. Okay, now I will ask for my dear friends who are doing it tough, Social Security. I'm just going to change decks because we had a lot of heavy questions with that. Social Security and Medicaid, Social Security and Medicaid. These lessons can be replicated for right across the world. This is the Four of Swords. Four of Swords. This is retreat, standing grounded and strong in this other space. This other space that allows you to see very clearly what is going on. You have your eyes shut at the moment, but are you awakening? You are awakening from sleep. This is a time of awakening. I should call this video The Great Awakening. All right, so Medicaid and Social Security. Not to all, okay? So they're not going to make cuts to major programs. They might trim around the edges. They could introduce some kind of work for the dole program that could be coming. I don't know if they've already got that, because a lot of people could be losing their jobs. Medicaid, but you'll still get your Social Security, but you might have to turn up and do volunteer work or whatever to get it. Okay, so will they severely cut Medicaid and Social Security? Cards didn't want to go anywhere. Okay, so the star card, it's important still to keep the faith. Then we have endings. So that's the death card. That's that Sun in Scorpio, but it's with the star card, so you couldn't get two diametrically opposed energies. We have strength here at the foundation of the reading. In the past, we have the Fool, so there's a new start, and then we have the Four of Pentacles, and this is in the sky. This is about standing your ground, but it's also a lack of finances too. Page of Pentacles in the near future indicates some changes, but the page isn't a major court card. The Judgment card is inevitability, and the Knight of Pentacles consistency. So it's inevitable there will be some change, but so far I'm not seeing major. Hopes and fears, we want the guardrails to hold, and then we get Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving help, and then the Chariot. So yes, there is going to be some change to it. There's going to be some disappointment, but I don't see that it is a major change because we still have 3 cups remaining. We have the Virgo introspect dark night of the soul. We've got secrets, we've got homes and families, and if first something doesn't proceed, we'll do it in another way. It's going to meet a lot of resistance, not just from Democrats, but from Republicans as well, particularly those that have got to face re-election in the midterms in marginal seats, because everything is changing. Everything is changing. Everything is changing. Okay, so some changes, yes. I can't say that there won't be. The Six of Pentacles is a yes card, but it's also about helping those in need as well. So it's not a wholesale cutting of those programs. They will, what are they going to do? Can you clarify that Six of Pentacles, please? Watch for the lies and the lambs dressed up as wolves. Nine of Pentacles, having everything one needs, and then a decision point. Okay, and we get the past. So it could be those programs that moderate. Yeah, it could be those programs that are up for renewal won't be brought forward. We've got surprises here. We've got families. Families might receive more help, and we'll get the Page of Wands moving forward. We get restriction. I think they're going to restrict, but something doesn't go according to plan. Maybe it's the repeal of the ACA. Going to be a lot of resistance to what they're proposing. Not all of it will get through. They will certainly cut what they can, but I think something happens that they can't do wholesale cuts. Okay, now we're going to look at Ukraine, and then I better finish up. I was going to look at Iran and the Middle East. I'll look at that soon. I have a feeling, and of course my predictions, I've got to say that my predictions since October 7th, that Netanyahu was aiding Old 45 in re-election, proved true. I said it on about the 7th or 8th or 9th. Very, very first readings. Proved correct. We know. He's come out and he said it. We know. However, even that is not going to go well for them. It's a poison chalice, I feel, what they've got, what they've won. It's a poison chalice. Why are you showing me that image? A poison chalice. So it's like, yeah, I'm picking up the energies of these cards. I still think someone is going to pass away. I still get that. I told you the last couple of readings, the death images are around old 45. And I still see someone being tapped on the shoulder. It's like I don't know. Okay. All right. So what are we reading on? What are we reading on? I've forgotten my train. I just got a fairly strong clairvoyant image. I forgot what I was reading. All right, let's start with let's just see Russia and Ukraine. Yeah, well, maybe that's what it was for. Russia and Ukraine. So Biden has said Ukraine can do long-range missile strikes into Russia. It's risky. It's very, very risky. So will Ukraine strike into the heart of Russia? Will Ukraine strike into the heart of Russia? I see a mobilization of troops too. Knight of Cups. There's an offer or a deal on the table here, and we've got old 45. The Lovers card is offering Ukraine a deal. Okay, so we get the 10 of Cups. Families, is that the Ukrainian family, or is that the heart of this? We have the truth in the past. We have the Hierophant, the international law courts, spirit. We have the King of Wands. I think, I don't know, you could get pushback from lawmakers over what Biden has said. But we have a new start here. We have the Three of Wands waiting for one ship to come in. Ships carrying the missiles. This is a new strategy for them. Hopes and fears, a show of strength. But also in this card, she's gently with that lion, but we have a fairly menacing lion here overhead. Retreat. Wounded in battle. If plan A doesn't, it's not good in Ukraine at the moment. And Five of Wands. Okay, so there's heavy fighting in the Kursk region. They might even bomb into that Kursk region. That's part of Russia. The Three of Cups, circles of support, and the Three of Pentacles, threes, and the Star. So Europe hasn't taken its eye off the ball. It's still right in there. Europe and the UK are still there supporting Ukraine. I don't think they will. I don't think they will, but there's something else happening here. Perhaps with troops, something else that's happening that we're not necessarily seeing. The Devil card, the King of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune, and an end. Not necessarily, but the Four of Swords, I didn't draw the clarifier card. The Four of Swords is about retreat. It's about wounded in battle. It's about death as well. It's also a no card. However, again, I'm just not going to assume. Show me the Four of Swords. What is this? Will they strike? Why'd you show me the Four of Swords? Will they strike? Is that a no card? Oh, check and recheck. The Knight of Pentacles, consistency, something changing, a surprise. Eight of Swords, restriction. Yep, well, we know that. Families, there've just been more families killed as Russia bombs them. I think they're going to maybe do a smaller strike, but it's not going to be as effective. They're kind of, I don't know, they need a lot of support, a lot of money. It's a crossroads for Ukraine, and we get the past card, but it's an uphill battle. The Ace of Pentacles, it gives them a hope, a new start, and then we get temperance and moderation. Not necessarily. They might make a small strike into Russia, maybe to protect their Kursk troops, but it's how Russia will respond that is the issue. And I know that I've been on for a while, but will Russia respond with a tactical nuclear weapon? Well, Vladimir Putin needs to bring this to an end, and he needs to get because his own Russian central bank head warned him that their economy is in danger as with this war continuing. He wants a deal, and he wants it quickly. Old 45 wants the deal as well, but what are they expecting? Ukraine ceding its territory and its citizens over to Russia? Zelensky stepping down as president and a Moscow stooge installed, not joining NATO, all of those things. Is that acceptable to the Ukrainians? But if they do launch this smaller strike, perhaps to bolster troops in the Kursk region, what does Putin do? Does Putin launch a tactical nuclear weapon? Does Putin launch a tactical, show me clearly, nuclear weapon? Page of Pentacles. No, it's just not. And the Moon card, though, there's a lot of volatility in the timeline, a show of strength for certain. Eight of Wands, missiles, increasing missiles, attacks on them. We also get the Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving help, loans and debts, Russia's debt. The Eight of Pentacles, the Apprentice card, great skill, circles of support. Does he launch a tactical nuclear strike? Heartbreak, and death. Three of death card and the Three of Swords, death card in the hopes and fears. Ten of Swords, minor arcana, death card. And the High Priestess, he's got something planned. It's going to come out of the blue, and it'll be aimed at winning him the war if they use these, something coming to fruition in time. And then we get, if they use the missiles into the heart of Russia, he will respond in a very, very massive way. So let's take the Five of Cups. What else did we get there? So many cards here, speaking of things we don't know about. They're trying hard to get some sort of deal, but these cards are of endings and death. All right, so can you show me the nuclear stuff? Ten of Swords and Five of Cups were the outcome cards. They're both no cards, but the meanings of them are something incredibly different. This is about death and destruction. Loss, death, and destruction for all. Okay, can you show me clearly, will he launch a tactical nuclear weapon? I'm seeing something that's not been launched yet. It's got a lock on it. It's being kept under wraps. They might wheel this out. I'm not sure if it's nuclear or some other hypersonic thing, but they'll use some kind of weapon to strike back hard at Ukraine. Am I getting this correct? Is it a nuclear weapon? It'd be all out war then if it did. So we get the Ace of Rods. It's a new plan, and it will give him victory, or it's designed to give him victory, and it's going to be quick, and it's going to get out of control. But then after that, we get stability and control. God. Sorry, he could launch something that we don't even know about. I don't want to scare people. It wouldn't be designed to wreck everybody and everything. It's something they've been testing, that they've got up their hand, and if Ukraine does this, they'll do that. Anyway, it's very troubling energy in the world, and everybody should take good care and just hold faith and hold steady, as I've always done, and make sure that you're looking after yourself. And for those that have the wherewithal, the energy, and want to be part of this, creating something new for the future, for your children, for your grandchildren, for you, for women, for what is good and right and moral and ethical. If you're in that, then get back into it, because there's a new era coming. And remember, there's a lot against 45. His margin of win was very small. 90 million eligible voters did not turn up to vote in this election. 90 million eligible, not registered. So it's got nothing to do with missing ballots. 90 million eligible voters did not turn up to vote in this election. And in the Democratic heartlands, not as many Democrats turned out as they did for Biden. So people are just tired. But for those that are able to resist, join the resistance, then get your beret on, because you're going to be needed to create the future. Anyway, bye for now.